So, how is it that I'm a human and I am rooting for the apes the entire time? Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and today I am reviewing The War for the Planet of the Apes. It is the third installment and the newest reiteration of the Planet of the Apes franchise, starring Andy Serkis as the lead ape Caesar and starring Woody Harrelson as the evil Colonel. If you remember the last movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you know that the apes and the humans were trying to live separately and they were giving each other their space, and then a conflict happened which made them at odds with each other. So in this film, the humans are actually actively going after the apes, trying to eradicate them in the name of, human survival. So without giving away too much, I don't want to include any spoilers in this, but a bad thing happens. And then Caesar decides to go after Woody Harrelson's character, the Colonel. So in this film, you have apes and you have humans on each side of this war. Now on the human side, you do have some apes, which are the dissidents from the previous film, and they help the humans, but they're not really equals with the humans. It's really an interesting dynamic that happens in there. I would rather talk about the donkeys in another review, like a more in-depth review that includes spoilers, but just to let you guys know that there are some apes that are helping humans. Some great things about this film is the CG continues to get better and better. It is incredible. It's like you almost cannot tell that you are watching a computer generated character. The character of Caesar and just all of the apes involved just seem so real and so lifelike. It's incredible. It looks so good. It is rather emotional. I did find myself getting a little misty-eyed in parts. I'm not too ashamed to admit that. It did kind of get me a little here. I kind of had to wipe away a tear or two sometimes. Now, as much emotion as there was in that, there was also a little bit of comic relief. So you had the character of Bad Ape, which was voiced and acted out by Steve Zahn. It provided just enough comic relief, like not so much where it's being hokey, but just enough to kind of release some of the emotional tension. This movie was also very brutal. There is a lot of violence going on, and not just shooting and stabbing and whipping and like all of this. There was also sort of a sadistic quality to it. And all of the violence is perpetrated on these, CG characters. They're CG, but they look so lifelike and they look very much like, creatures that are walking around this earth, like real, for real. And then also add on to that you get to know them as characters with, families and connections and relationships. It is hard to see the brutality that goes on in this film, and it definitely endears the viewer to the plight of all of these apes. Also, just a note that as far as the action goes, it kind of bills itself as an action film, but really, there's quite a bit of action in the beginning, and then there's some action at the end. And then all the stuff in between is kind of, it's not, like I said, it is pretty brutal film. So there are moments of violence sort of hit throughout. But for the most part, it is like, it deals a lot with emotion, and a lot with character, and a lot with the story. So there isn't a whole lot of like, huge explosions and big time action scenes going on in between. It has it in the beginning and saves it for towards the end. If you're looking for a big action flick, like wall to wall action, this movie might not be for you. But I think it provides enough action that if that's what you're going for, you'll be satisfied with what you get. But just know that in the middle, it's not so action packed. So all in all, I really enjoyed the movie. I've been enjoying these latest installments of the Planet of the Apes movies. I think they are very well made. I think they are very well written. Andy Serkis is doing an amazing job as Caesar, and it's just compelling to watch. It's all in all, it's a great film. I would recommend it. Go see it. So if you stuck around, you are in luck because I have something special for you. I like to call it trailer time. It's when I tell you about all the trailers that you are not going to see because you don't get to the movies on time. So I did. Now I'm going to tell you what they want you to see. It's going to be quick and dirty. First up, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, coming out on Christmas. Looks pretty cool. Looks a lot like the last Star Wars. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I might go see it. Valerian, it looks like a Avatar type thing. Maybe it's based on a book. Maybe you're a Valerian nerd and you know more about it than I do. It looks pretty, so I might just go see it because it's so visually appealing. Daddy's Home 2 with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. They doubled down on the daddies. They got 2 more daddies, Mel Gibson and John Lithgow. I'm good. I didn't see the first one, so American Made, starring Tom Cruise, and it's about a true life story of a pilot turned narco trafficker. Looks kind of interesting. I might give it a shot. Dark Tower. Listen, I'm an Idris Elba fan, so anything he's in, I'm just gonna see. Just whatever. Also, Stephen King's cool. He's done some good work in the past. Blade Runner 2049, starring Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. It looks really interesting. And, I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, the original. It is just one of those classic movies that you just have to see if you are a film nerd and you weren't born in that era. So Blade Runner was a movie that was set in the future. It's a very futuristic movie. So it's nice to see them kind of revisit this and make some updates to some of the things to make it still feel like the future for us here in 2017. The Shape of Water, it is a movie by Guillermo del Toro. If you are a fan of his, he is the guy that did Hellboy. He's done Pan's Labyrinth. He is a really cool visionary director that has that does a lot of really neat and interesting work. The Shape of Water looks like it's going to be somewhat the same. I don't know, but I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I'm not entirely sure. They have until, when is this? December 8th to change my mind. Murder on the Orient Express, and this is a movie that is based on the story by Agatha Christie. It's also been filmed a gajillion different times, but this time you get to see it with Johnny Depp, so that's interesting. And the last one that I am super excited to see is Kingsman: The Gold Circle. This is a sequel to Kingsman: The Secret Service. I loved Kingsman so much, and this one looks like it is not going to disappoint, that it's going to be just as cool. And the trailer did reveal that Colin Firth is coming back. So I don't know. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson shot him in the head point blank in the last one, like he was totally dead. So I don't know if this is going to be like he came to life, or maybe he's a clone, or maybe that was a clone that Samuel L. Jackson's character shot. I don't know what's happening. I don't care. I'm going to go see it. That's coming out September 22nd, so you know where I'm going to be that day. Okay, so that's it for trailer time. Like I said, quick and dirty. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, and I will see you on the next one.